So this was just a current look for me. Sorry, it's weird. It was an Instagram video with the crazy eyes, but this is my current look, and then we're gonna get started into the video. Look at my neck. It's like, I was sitting like this on the chair and I realized that I didn't get any of my neck. So, and I had necklaces on too, so not smart. Hi everybody, so I am a little tired. Been running around for quite some time, and I wanted to catch up on YouTubes and talk to you today about abs and stomach, and maybe why you may not be seeing results, or you may feel like you're stagnant or things like that. Now, everything I'm going to talk about is just my opinion and things that I've felt or been through over my fitness journey, things that I've experienced myself, and I just wanted to kind of like share some light on it. I am very lean right now. I'm probably at the leanest I've ever been, and I do post my abs quite a bit on social media because, one, I'm proud of them, and two, I've worked really hard, and I am just at, like I said, a point where I am on a very strict diet and leaning down, and that's just a goal of mine right now. So to talk about abs and some things just to get started, the first thing about abs or a flatter stomach or anything like that is diet. So diet is a very, it's 90% of stomach region, I believe, in my own opinion. Like I always say, abs are the first thing to go, and they're the last things to come in, unfortunately. It's just a different kind of aspect. I'm talking more so for females. Don't feel bad just because, you know, this person might have a six-pack or this whatever. You know, as a female, we have more hormones, we have more fat around our stomach region because we birth children. We just have a lot of other factors that are quite different in getting the six-pack or a more toned tummy. And it's not bad by any means, but we do have those factors against us. So hormones and things kind of like playing against us, and menstrual cycles and things like that, and PMSing and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot to work with as a female, and I totally give us accolades and props because I don't think men will ever understand some of the things that we go through. But some of the first things I want to talk about, like I said, were diet. Diet is a very key component with the stomach region. You can do abs all day and go to the gym, but if your diet is not correct, it's going to be very hard for you to see results unless you're, you know, a genetic taking things in the industry that help you do that and keep that, right? There are things out there that I won't really talk about that do help a lot of people maintain abs and or have them the whole year, which is very not feasible to have a hardcore six-pack all year round. You have to be on a very strict diet, and I don't really suggest that for anyone because we all want to live our life, and being on a very strict diet is super hard for a lot of people because we like to travel, we like to have fun, and I'm the same way. So I don't have that all year round. It's a very hard thing to keep up, and most of the time if you see someone like that all year round, there are things that they are using to help them, and I'll just be blunt about that. To go to too much, but there are a lot of things now that can, you know, people can go get abs on a table. People can go get, you know, ab etching, and people can get lots of things done to do all that. I'm speaking, and so just be kind to yourself because you have to realize that there's a lot of that kind of stuff out there, and a lot of people aren't vocal about it, and a lot of people will say, you know, they got this stuff from working out when they did not. And I am very adamant about, I'm very cool about you do what you want, it's your body, but selling programs or giving people advice as far as fitness is concerned when you didn't do the work yourself, I think is a very it's very awful to do that to other people because you're claiming something that you didn't work for. Now, if you did that on your own, you know, so be it. But I think that's very unfair in the industry and things like that to really pitch off these things as being, you know, worked hard for when they're not. And that's a whole different that's a whole different talk. But to continue on the abs, again, diet is very important, right? So right now I eat a lot of lean fish. I eat a lot of lean foods. I carb cycle quite a bit. That's just what I like and what works for me. As far as the diet is concerned, you're gonna wanna be more in a deficit and really looking at more of the caloric intake, the carbs that you have, when you're eating, at the times you're eating of the day, and that kind of stuff. So diet is very, very important. So diet, we talked about. Gut health is really, really important. I have a very, very terrible digestive system. I've been to like every doctor in the world for long periods of time. I've had, not to be too candid, but I've had several colonoscopies. I've had dozens of endoscopies, lots of things. Gut health is a really big, important part. And a lot of people don't listen to their gut or don't pay attention to it. And it really has a lot of effect on your day-to-day life and how you feel, your mood. Like I said, digestion is very important. And it has a lot of play on how your skin, clothes, like maybe you have breakouts and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Your gut really speaks to you, and a lot of people don't listen to it. And the better you are with your gut health, the more lovely you're gonna feel, and you're gonna feel more energized and just so much better about everything. I'm telling you, when I changed certain things in my diet, and it just made a whole difference. Just a couple of things that I like to kind of throw out there. Probiotics, I take the Fortified Optima probiotic for women, and I love digestive enzymes. I have a very hard time digesting food, as do a lot of people, and I take these before I eat. It's the Renew Life, Digest More, Fats and Proteins. So it's a really good digestive enzyme because it really, it puts those fats and proteins back into your muscles. The food that you eat, digestive enzymes and the probiotic are something I take all the time, travel with them all the time, and I just feel so much better about it. Another thing that I like to promote, obviously, is water. I drink lots and lots of water, lots. You can put lemon in your water. That's a really great, it's a really great anti-inflammatory for your gut, and it's really great for your skin and all that kind of stuff. But lots of water is a really key component too for stomach health, as well as feeling, you know, more slim and trim, or however you want to feel with your stomach region. I talked about carb cycling. I can talk about it again and do an updated video, but it really works for me. And like I said, be kind to yourself. There's a lot of things that are out there that you may not be aware of and that people are not honest about. So just be kind to yourself. Also, I want to talk about too, six-pack or a leaner stomach, or whatever you want to call it. When you're bulking, and when you bulk over fall, let's say fall is normally the time when people bulk, just having a six-pack and a very large posterior with very large legs is a really hard task, right, to keep up with, because I always say you pick one or the other, especially when you're bulking or when you're leaning, because when you're bulking, you're not going to have a six-pack because you're bulking and you're eating, you're putting on those calories, and you're in a caloric high, right? So because you want to gain the mass, right? And then whenever you're leaning out, you're in a caloric deficit, and or you're watching your calories or doing whatever kind of diet you're doing, and you're going to be leaning down. It is natural for you to lose some of that booty mass or legs to get the six-pack, okay? It's really hard to have a massive posterior, massive legs, an 8-pack, be shredded, toned up your body. Again, that's other factors that people are using to help have that look. So be kind to yourself, because like I always say, it's one or the other. I'm in the summertime right now, so I'm focused on leaning. When my stomach is very lean, my legs have gotten leaner, as a lot of people have seen. I've gotten very much leaner, because that's what happens when you lean down, right? So when you're bulking up, again, you're putting on the calories, so it's not gonna be, just pick one or the other. right? Because when you bulk up, you're bulking up, it's gonna be really hard to maintain a six-pack because you're not in a caloric deficit or you're not watching a diet, and that's really key for abs, right? You're putting on the calories, you're putting on the mass. When you're leaning out, you're focused on shredding yourself, right? So therefore, a little bit of your legs and a little bit of your booty are gonna have to come down because that's just natural, okay? Ab movements. I always like to do 4 sets of 25 or isolation movements. Isolation movements are a very big thing that I always tell people because you're isolating, so you wanna get the muscles strong, right? You wanna get a really strong core. And by doing that, you need to isolate, hold planks, hold movements, right? You don't need to add crazy weights or anything like that, but you wanna get your stomach nice and strong and toned up. You wanna get those muscles toned up, right? So I always talk about isolation movements or body weight movements, nothing too crazy with weights. That's not super necessary. You have to think about abs in like you would quads, right? You put muscle onto your quads by adding weight, correct? So if you're gonna be putting on weights with your stomach, you're gonna be bulking up those muscles too. A lot of people get that misunderstanding, especially for obliques, right? Because as a female, most time people want that curve in your obliques. So you're not gonna be wanting to do lots of weighted oblique movements because with weight, you're increasing the size. So the more weight you add to your obliques, the wider the stomach region will get. So you don't need to be doing lots of those suitcase weights, stuff like that. I think that's a really big misconception for people to tell you to pack on a lot of weight, especially on your obliques. Maybe you do want to widen yourself. If you do want that more wide, square, more athletic frame, then do the weights. Most females want that more hourglass toned side, right? So you're not going to want to be adding a lot of weights to your oblique movements because that therefore is going to expand and increase the width of your weight, right? So abs are pretty simple. You don't need to go like nuts and all these crazy movements and add all these weights and stuff. They're simple basic movements, like I always say. A lot of them are body weighted, a lot of them can be beginner to advanced, and a lot of it's isolation and holds and how long you do that kind of stuff, right? So abs can be done every day. It's really good for muscle memory, especially for your abs, to create that muscle memory by doing them every day. And I'll show you guys some of my favorite ab movements that are very beginner to intermediate. You can make them more advanced if you want to, but they're things that I do all the time that I've seen help me, and I really love them because they're isolation movements, they're holds, they're simple movements that target the areas in the abs that I particularly like. And that the lower ab region for most females is the hardest place to target, right? Because it's just, a lot of people don't have the muscle-mind connection for the lower ab region because a lot of people are doing V-ups or they're doing a lot of movements to where their back is arched and you're not necessarily feeling the movement in your lower region, you're feeling it in your back, right? So a lot of that is form correction and stuff like that. But simple movements like leg raises, individual leg raises, which I really love because it really does isolate that specific movement, especially on the lower region for females, and planks, oblique side planks, and I love ab rollouts with, you can do them with a bench bar or you can do them with a ab roller. Those are some of my favorites, and I'll show you them and I'll talk over this, but I hope that helped. Like I said, you don't need to go like uber crazy with abs, but it is a lot of your diet and you do want to do toning movements like this. I hope this gave you a little insight into abs and what you may or may not be doing correctly, or just a little bit of more knowledge on the stomach region, and to be kind to yourself. And I'm just talking because a lot of people wanted me to talk about it and show some movements, what I like to do. I do a lot of other things, but these are literally movements that I do every day. And again, the best thing you can do is start off with isolation movements and really get that muscle-mind connection going and really tone and strengthen your core inside, because that's really gonna make a lot of progress for you when you lean down and all that kind of stuff. So diet, that's a lot of what I do. Drink your water. It's really important to drink lots and lots of water. I like to do my abs before my workouts, right? Because if you're tired and you're doing your abs at the very end, people most likely tend to say, oh, I'll do them later. So do them before or do them in the morning with your fasted cardio. When I'm leaning out, I do my fasted cardio in the morning and I do my abs in the morning, and I'll do some other stuff at night. So I tend to always try to get those in because I get really tired throughout the day. I'm not a night person. My mind just kind of like cuts off at a certain point during the day, and I just don't have it in me to do anything else. So I try to get that out of the way and done. Also, I like to do my abs outside if you can find a place to do that. I feel like it really brings me a lot of motivation. It really brings me a lot of joy and feeling really good. I love to sweat, so being outside like that, I don't know, makes me feel good, just in my opinion. And and a lot of other movements that you're doing, maybe in your leg days and stuff like that, a lot of them are core focused. So really try to connect your core with some of the other movements you're doing as well. Like front squats are a really great core workout as well. A lot of people don't know that or don't have the muscle mind connection, but a lot of the front squats that you're doing, it takes a lot of, if you're really good form front squats, you're gonna feel the next day in your abs if you really did it correctly, because you need to be lifting and pulling up with a lot of your core muscles too. So those are really good movements to really think about your abs in there. Also, just some other tips, I try to do a lot of vacuuming and isolation holds when I'm walking around the house and keeping my stomach in and pushing it back towards my back. Just to again, focus on toning my core and strengthening my core. I can talk about vacuuming at a later date, but those are just things that I do, and I don't know, they've helped me, so I figured I would just share them. And here's some of my movements. I'm just doing hanging individual leg raises. This is really good for your lower abs and really getting that isolation and the movement going. And then I'm just taking it up with both legs. You can do, like I said, 4 sets of 25, and this is more advanced full leg raises, and you can add a windshield wiper in there if you want to. Notice how I'm not swinging back. I'm really just using my full abdomen, right? A lot of people they swing back to get that momentum, and you really just need to do it with your full abdomen there. And then this is just the windshield wiper. Again, this is a more advanced movement for people that might be a little bit more advanced. And then oblique holds. I don't know why this is so slow-mo. Whoops. Well, it's slow-mo anyways, but I'll hold this for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, and go into just a plank. Regular plank, you can do a high plank or a low plank like this. Again, I don't know why I did slow-mo here, but whatever. And then my favorite is the roll out here on the bench. If you don't have this, or if you just have a regular roller, you can use this. I just do 45s, and I switch up my positions, working on the side striation area with my rollouts. So these are, again, just are things that I do, and some of my favorite ab movements. I'm going into a straight rollout and really focusing on squeezing those muscles as I kind of roll up there. So I'm keeping everything really in line, and I'm not breaking my neck or throwing my neck out. Again, I'm looking at the camera. And then just holding the plank here. And then I'm gonna do some side to sides here. This is really good for, again, your obliques and just toning. I'm just gonna go on one side. I'm just showing this pretty quickly, and then on the other. And then I'm gonna go up and hold a little bit further out for a nice plank.